here with Winston after playing my first VR game ever called The American Dream, Live Your Life with Guns. One of the coolest and most fun things I've ever done. But Winston, why don't you just go ahead and give me a small description what the game looks like. I'm having even a hard time just putting into words what I just played. It was one of the coolest things ever, so why don't you just give me a little bit about it?
Yeah. Hey, so my name's Winston. I'm from Samurai Punk. We're a small indie development studio from Australia. And this is our game, The American Dream. So what it is, it's a satirical virtual reality trip through a 1950s World Fair where you're going to learn how to live your life with guns. And that's doing everything. So the way that it works is you slap on your virtual reality headset. We use the hand motion controllers. But rather than have hands, because hands are boring, you just have guns. And you're going to do everything with them. So that's having a meal, driving a car, working your job at the local bagel factory, and so much more as well in the full game.
Yeah, see, so what I ended up doing through it was just, I believe, one phase. But you have to tell me a little bit more about that. But I was quite literally shooting holes in bagels. And it was the most fun thing I've done here at PAX so far. So much that I'm giving you the interview now. So tell me what more can we look for the game? You said, I believe, only 3-4 months into development, and you guys are looking for mid next year. So what more can we expect in the future for your game?
Yeah, so it's still pretty early days. We're at a phase where we're lining up as many ideas as we can about different segments of the game that we can show and develop. And it's really fun. Like, you can just imagine a bunch of guys sitting around and it's like, what if you use the gun to do this? Or this, or this? And then the ideas just kind of escalate from there. And that's how, we got all the things that we're showing here. So in terms of what is to come, we don't want to reveal too much because it is kind of, the game will have a strong narrative element to it, but basically you're going to experience different stages of someone's life as they're growing up, learning how guns are going to, enrich their life, make them a better person, solve all their problems. So yeah, I think that's all I can say.
Yeah, no, that's fun. And then is this your guys' first VR game development? Is there, are you guys thinking about doing VR in the future? It's kind of the new thing to look at. So is that something you guys are looking to planning to do, or is this kind of just the getting your feet wet and seeing what it's actually like?
Yeah. So we're really excited about VR. VR's such an interesting space to be working in. It's a completely different playing field, like full immersion, and especially with the motion controllers. They're so intuitive that anyone can really pick it up and play. And we're really, we see that as VR's strength. So we're really working towards making our experience as intuitive as possible as well. So we tried to minimize as much explicit gamey style tutorials. We want to integrate as much of the learning experience into everything that you see and the feel of being in there, having guns for hands. And I mean, as we can see, people have picked it up pretty quickly. It feels right, but maybe that's because we're in America. I'm not too sure, but maybe a bit of both.
It was perfectly nostalgic for me. I couldn't believe how quickly I just immersed myself into it. I completely forgot I was here, and I was just like, wow, I wonder how stupid I look playing this. Don't care, this is a blast. So when you're developing something like that, how difficult is it to create that immersion effect? Because it was fully done in this game, so how difficult was that for you guys to actually put into a game?
Yeah, it was a very different experience to us. So our previous game was Screen Sheet, and that game, designing environments, was also very strange in its own way, because that was a game where you had to look at each other's screens and identify where people were based on what they were seeing. So the level design was very particular. There were a lot of landmarks, color markings, and things like that. So here, now we have to design around immersion. And the way that you do that is making the space feel alive, not static. So we try to have as many moving elements as possible. Generally really subtle movements, just so they're not too distracting, but when you look around, it feels like you're in a real space. It's not just entirely fake. What else?
That's what actually blew me away the most, was when I was in there, I kept turning around and looking that actually everything was in front, behind. It was very easy to fall into the game. So yeah. And especially with the nostalgic American music, everything was just fantastic. So I guess any just final thoughts you'd like to say to anybody else?
Well, I mean, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the game. Can't wait to see how the rest of the world finds it. We do have a teaser trailer available on our website, so that's samuraipunk.com. Up on the first page will be a link to watch the teaser. Please do check it out. God bless America.
Yeah, excellent, guys. Well, definitely make sure to check this out. This is one of the most fun things I've ever done in my life. You can still see this stupid grin I have on my face. So anyways, guys, check it out. Winston, thank you so much for your time. Good luck with your game.
Thanks.